Hey guys, what's up? It's Sam. Today, I'm going to be telling you guys my trend predictions for 2025. Saying 2025 actually sounds so sick and crazy to me. I know, I feel like I do this every year where I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe it's this year. But 2025 is bananas to me. It feels like it's still 2020. Today, we're going to be talking about the things that I think are going to be trending with beauty and fashion in 2025. I'm not an expert, nor am I an oracle. I don't actually know, but these are just my guesses based on what I've seen from different content creators, influencers, especially in the fashion and beauty spaces, what I've seen on Pinterest, and just kind of overall vibes. I personally have watched a ton of these. I love these videos. They're very fun for me. So if you see something that kind of reminds you of something else, it probably was from one of those videos or something that I agreed with. If you disagree with some of these, that's also totally fine. Everyone's style and eyes for trends are totally different. So yeah, there were a few in some of the videos where I was like, oh no, absolutely not. So that's just kind of the overall consensus of these. And especially when I get into the section of things that I don't think are going to be trending for next year. That does not mean throw these items away or stop wearing them. If you enjoy these items, that is totally fine. I'm not an expert on anything. 9 times out of 10 I'm wearing just a sweat set. So please, please, please do not take any of this too harshly or kind of drive your decisions in terms of your own personal style based on my random opinion. All right guys, without further ado, let's get into this video. Okay, we're gonna start off with the fashion category of things that I think are in for 2025. Skinny scarves. This one's gonna sound so weird and random, but 2010, 2000s even still is still really in that kind of aesthetic. But I think something that kind of fell out was scarves, right? I think we were all kind of familiar in 2013, 2014 with the infinity scarf. I think that one's dead, but I do think skinny useless scarves are absolutely in, and I think these will remain in past winter even. I have this cute useless scarf, and it's from Gap, and I love it, and I got it a few weeks ago, and I've just been absolutely obsessed with it. It does nothing for my warmth at all, so I still think large big scarves are going to remain in, but I do think we're going to see an increase in pointless little scarves. I think this will remain even throughout spring and summertime, where people are just going to essentially be adding it to their outfits. This one is no surprise to anyone, but I feel like we're going to see an increase in faux or thrifted furs. This one has been kind of surprising for me, mostly because honestly I'm not super into it. I feel like pretty recently this was a trend, think 2016, 2017. For such a kind of avant-garde item, it seems interesting to me that that trend cycle kind of came back so quickly. I remember during Scream Queen's time where it felt very popular. However, I think this trend is a little bit different because of the way people are doing it. People are going with the kind of vintage large fur coats, the ones that are to the ground. I'm also seeing a lot of accessories, right? So fur hat, fur scarves, even things that have that fur element, and they're very loud about it. It's not a hidden thing. It's not a take on fur. It's not anything unique or new. It is very classic fur. I personally am pretty against the use of fur. That is something you're just buying right off the shelf. So I would recommend faux fur, or ideally I think thrifted fur is a super great place to do it. It's obviously going to be more expensive, but the product has already been made, so there's nothing particularly unethical in my opinion about it. You're giving it an additional life, but on top of that, you're getting a really good quality item. So as long as you're taking care of it, I think it's a really good investment, honestly. Kind of in a similar boat, I feel like we're going to see a lot more in terms of texture being super important. So instead of just a basic t-shirt, we're going to see a t-shirt with layers on top of layers, or something that is a blouse but there's frill and fun to it. I think we're going to be wanting a lot more dimension with our outfits, so that might be layering, that might be buying pieces that are a little bit more obvious in terms of their fun and wearing those pieces consistently, right? So I think a lot of times when you buy a piece that is a little bit more out there, you kind of tend to not wear it as much because you're oh no, people have already seen me in this. No, I feel like that is the goal. You want people to see you in it as many times as possible because you want that layered effect, and because you're kind of building off of it and creating an outfit surrounding it. It doesn't matter that you're wearing that piece multiple times, because the way you're going to create that outfit is going to be different each time. I personally just love anything that allows you to have just a lot of fun with a look and kind of put your unique style into it. I feel like we're going to see a lot of maximalism in a general sense, but a lot of maximalism in terms of jewelry. So what I have going on right now is absolutely not going to cut it. You can't say I do have necklaces on, but it's covered. But I am talking stacks on stacks. It's going to be very almost obnoxious, but I think people are going to really enjoy the look of it, and I think it's fun. I also think those pieces are going to be things that are more unique, things that probably other people don't have, things that are more curated and a little harder to find, things with stories. For example, I have a necklace that I wear every single day, and it has a fun little story that goes goes with it. And I feel like that is something that I really, really enjoy. Let's talk about jeans. I have seen a few videos where people are like, jeans cannot be trendy, and I understand exactly what they're saying. It's a super fair point. Jeans are really such an investment piece, and quality denim trumps kind of everything. A classic pair of jeans is going to remain classic, and the way we cycle through trends with jeans is kind of silly, but there are still, in my opinion, things that are a little bit more popular and a little bit more trendy. Whether you decide to jump on this is kind of up to you. Do not shoot the messenger, but I think skinny jeans are gonna have a moment. I feel like a lot of this is going to be kind of as like a rebellion from the previous anti-skinny jean movement. Also, I feel like we're seeing a little bit of an increase in kind of like that emo punk type of style. So I think with that and the increase of trends from 2000, 2010 coming in, I think this totally makes sense. However, if you are someone like me who definitely enjoyed skinny jeans while they were happening and does understand the use case, especially in winter, because sometimes I'm wearing like big sweaters and I just do not like big top, big pants combo. Like that's not my favorite. So sometimes honestly, skinny jeans are super ideal for that. But if you are looking for something that's kind of skinny jean adjacent, but still has like the baggy pants kind of effect, I would recommend bootcut jeans. I feel like we have forgotten about bootcut jeans. It makes me so sad. I think we're gonna see in general more bohemian trends kind of coming in, that 60s, 70s kind of look. With that, it means bootcut jeans. I think that makes so much sense just based on all the things we're seeing. I think that because there's different ways to style these and they still allow for the tightness, but kind of like the flare and like, you know, that styling to still happen, I think this makes a lot of sense that this would be a popular item this coming year. Again, with denim, always do what you want because denim is too expensive to be like chasing a trend, in my opinion. Honestly, in general, try not to chase trends, try to chase like your own personal sense of fashion, but I feel like these are items you can definitely thrift, so I would look out for those when you're going. This is going to surprise no one. This is not particularly new. It's definitely trendy this year, but I think it's going to continue into this winter and then maybe into even November, December of 2025. And that is bright colored leggings or patterned leggings. I think it's fun. I think it's a nice touch and I don't feel like it's going anywhere anytime soon. I know not everyone loves this, but I think it is such a fun little look to add to an outfit. White tights I feel like are gonna have a moment because I think they've been a little forgotten about. Like everyone just like does black tights, but I think like white tights are kind of a moment too. But in general, I feel like bright tights are still in. Burgundy in general is super in. So if you're gonna do this trend and you wanna do something like burgundy tights, I think that could be super cute. The next thing is I feel like we're going to see a summer boot moment. I don't know how else to explain this, but again, it kind of ties into like the bohemian trend that's a little bit in. So I feel like we're gonna see people kind of carrying their love for boots that's been very popular the last few years, and we're gonna see a lot more of that even during the summer months. I might be completely off base on this, but it's kind of similar to, do you remember like probably like 2019, 2020 even, where people were wearing like actual sneakers and socks with bathing suits? Does anyone remember this? Like that, I felt like that was huge on Instagram, like sneakers and socks and a bikini. I feel like it's gonna be a similar kind of vibe to that, where it's like, this is not exactly where you would assume this item would be, but it's here and it's kind of fun. The last item in this category is something that I kind of mentioned earlier, and that is unique pieces that no one else has. So I think this is going to expand not just from jewelry, but going into different categories as well. So different tops, different outfits, just things that you're putting together that other people haven't put together yet, or items that you've thrifted and are super unique, places that you've ordered clothes from that you're not divulging. I think gatekeeping is gonna be in, and I know that sounds bad, but I honestly understand it. Sometimes it's frustrating when you order something and you love it, and then like that item becomes super trendy and you feel like you don't get to have like the full life cycle of that item. I feel like that is going to be absolutely huge this year. Just a lot of gatekeeping, which is gonna be frustrating, but I feel like it's going to force us to kind of evolve our own personal styles, which is always great. Let's talk beauty. I'm gonna stay in the category of things that I feel like are in for this time, and then we're gonna just do all of the things that I feel like are out for 2025 last. In general, the glowy type aesthetic, the jelly donut look, whatever you want to call it, I feel like that is going to remain in. Just the dewiness and the brightness and like youthful look of just really nice plump skin. That's not my skin right now. My skin hates winter, so like we're dealing with it, but I feel like that kind of look, and like just a lot of highlighters, a lot of glitter, a lot of glow. Similarly to that, we're gonna see a lot of glitter, a lot of brightness, a lot of eyeshadow that is very bold, high glitter. Things that are just very like avant-garde, just sort of a fun drag look that is far more toned down and meant for every day, but still something fun and exciting. I feel like we haven't had a big eyeshadow moment since like 2015, 2016, so I feel like now is the time to do it, and I think it'll be so much fun. I think we'll be focusing a lot more on those bright, colorful eye looks instead of kind of like the darker winged eyeliner or a lot of liner in general, a lot of darkness to the eye. I think we're gonna brighten it up a lot and it's going to be very colorful and very fun. I think we are going to see a resurgence in bangs, bobs, or both. I feel like bobs are so having a moment right now. Very cool, very trendy, very high fashion girlies seem to be loving their bobs at this moment, and it's making me think, should I do that? Every single day I wake up and I'm like, oh my god, should I just cut it all off? Like, should I just do it? And I think about it all the time and I want to so badly. I don't know if I'll ever do it, but I want to so badly. Similar to this, I think we're gonna see a lot more bangs, but kind of Dakota Johnson style bangs rather than Sabrina Carpenter feathered bang. This is not saying that like feather bangs are out. I think that's still a super cute hairstyle, but I think we're gonna see more of that. I think people are gonna freak out when I say this one. Hear me out though. I think we're gonna see bleached brows or thin brows. I understand what I'm saying is scary because it's such a big commitment, but I think that's why it's going to be a cool, trendy thing. The best way I can think to describe this is your favorite influencer will probably not have like the thin or bleached brows, but her favorite influencer will, right? So it's going to be something that someone is getting a lot of creative inspiration from. It's not going to be the typical thing you see scrolling your feed, but it's still going to be a very cool, very in thing. It's very editorial right now, but I think we're going to see even more celebrities doing it just kind of organically as a fun look, especially the celebrities that are kind of known for being very cool, or the influencers who are like effortlessly cool. I think we're going to see a lot of that. And for the last one in this in category is I feel like we're going to see a lot more indie brands. So especially with beauty and makeup, I think we're going to not necessarily want to look for a lot of celebrity brands, and I'm going to mention that in a little bit, but things that are smaller, things that are more independent, think clothes, think beauty, think all of this. And I think we're even going to see this in terms of the influencers we follow and the people we interact with. I have found that I follow a lot of influencers who have like a much bigger budget than me, so I've been kind of scaling back, doing a little bit of an audit of my following list and being like, who do I feel like has a similar budget? Where do they shop? Is it brand name? Is it thrifted? Where are they going? And how can I recreate this? So I even look at things like, how are they dressing for a body type? Like, is that similar to mine? Do I feel like I can recreate these looks? Instead of going online and looking at these looks that are amazing and so cute but not functional with my lifestyle, I feel like we're gonna see a lot more people focusing on kind of these smaller creators, smaller brands, just in general, a kind of more niched down section. That's kind of getting into a little bit more of my predictions for social media, which I'm gonna do a whole nother video about. If you guys don't know, I have a degree in media. I also have been a social media manager for Amazon and TikTok, so this is like my bread and butter. I absolutely love this stuff, so I can do that if you guys are interested in that. I already plan on it, but if you guys are like, absolutely not, no way, I don't have to, but I would love to. So let me know if you guys want to see that. Let's talk about what's out. Keep in mind, these aren't necessarily things that you have to stop doing. My opinion is so deeply irrelevant, so if you do these things, it's totally fine. It's not a big deal, and who am I to tell you what to do, okay? Again, I'm also not an oracle. I could be so off base. I think the blazer going out type of vibe is done. It's gone. This might be that I'm personally not the biggest fan of this, but I feel like it has really run its course and it does not make a lot of sense anymore. Now, this does not mean that blazers are out at all in any way, shape, or form. Blazers are blazers. They're always going to be in. They're a staple for office wear, corporate environment. However, do they need to come to the club with us? I vote no. I just feel like it's not for the vibe. It's just not there. We don't need to do it anymore. Let's move on. We can definitely have a different layering piece. Again, like I mentioned, we're still going to be layering, but I think we're going to be layering with different pieces, and those pieces are not going to be blazers. Keep your blazers, save them. They're perfect for the office. They're perfect for getting lunch, but they're not going out clothes in my opinion. That's just not the vibe anymore. Something that I think is going to be out this year is not having your own sense of style, and that does not necessarily mean following a particular trend or trendy phrase. That doesn't mean you have to dress all in the same way, but I think kind of being like completely lost in terms of what you like and what you don't like, it's going to have, I don't know, like it's not going to be as palatable anymore. Now, I don't want that to freak anyone out or be like, oh my god, wait, I'm like still trying to find my style. Like, does that mean I'm not trendy? That's not at all what I'm saying. I'm more saying that I think different style and different aesthetics, it's not going to be following every trend after trend after trend. It's not going to be placing $1,000 Shein orders, right? Like, it's going to be finding pieces that you genuinely like and genuinely enjoy and sticking with them and building outfits based off of that. It's going to be repeating outfits, repeating looks that you already like. I feel like the kind of overconsumption core is gonna flop during this era, and I really am hoping for that. I could be wrong. Similar to this, I feel like bad fabric is gonna be really out. I have been so picky lately about my fabrics. I cannot stand a fabric that just doesn't make sense. I feel like doesn't work. I think the clothes don't sit right. I think the fabric feels bad on my skin. I think that it just looks so obvious. I do not know if this is something that just kind of happened as I've gotten older, or if the fabric and quality of clothing has just gone down so significantly that I'm noticing it. It could be a bit of both, but I feel like I now shop so much with an emphasis on what fabrics are used and the material and the way the clothes feel and the way they look. And for my last point, I kind of touched on this a little bit, but kind of celebrity makeup brands or clothing brands, beauty brands, whatever it is, that don't actually have good products. Now, I'm not talking about any particular brand because there are plenty that I haven't tried and there are plenty that I have tried that I've really liked the products, right? But I'm more saying that giving like this hype to a brand that really hasn't proven itself or been good in quality, I feel like we're gonna see less of that, and we're gonna see more people talking about specific products that they like. So it could be a specific product from a celebrity or influencer brand, but that doesn't necessarily make all of the products from that brand perfect or amazing. I think we're gonna put a lot more pressure on brands as consumers to deliver better products for us, because I think we're like recognizing like we're kind of getting scammed a little bit. Like everything costs so much more. I think we're gonna have higher expectations in terms of what is being delivered to us, hence kind of making products not as trendy from them. Again, I might be completely wrong and maybe I'm having more faith in brands and like consumers than I should. I probably am, but from a personal stance, I feel like that's something I've noticed, and kind of really taking my foot off the gas when it comes to a beauty brand from a celebrity and being like, hey, are the products actually good? Is the content in this actually good, right? Like, what is it that I'm buying, and is it worth the additional price that's kind of getting added to it because it's a celebrity brand? Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you are having a wonderful 2025. I feel like I'm so excited about this year. So many thoughts, so many ideas, so many videos that I am so excited to do. So I hope you guys stick along with me and subscribe down below, and do not forget to follow me on Instagram. It's samantha.hope. I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye guys.